Hey addicts, welcome back. We're here for Arifureta episode 2, and a little bit of an improvement. Not much, but slightly better, I would say. I guess getting into it, we're going to touch first.
I'm glad they had that flashback that didn't matter at all.
Yeah, I guess breaking down the episode of what we saw, we got to see touchback with the classmates trying to establish, what they didn't in the first episode. Didn't really do a good job about that, but, you do get a little bit of, seeing how they're reacting after Hajime falls. On Hajime's side, you get to see him, going through multiple levels. You got the montage thing, and then him meeting with you for the first time. And that's basically it. Like Michael said, there is one part that just doesn't make sense at all, and that is you get, a flashback of, again, him falling in the abyss, and it's like, why do we have this? Why didn't they just show the extended... It was basically an extended part of that scene. It's like, why didn't they just do that in the first episode so we didn't have to... I don't know. That was kind of pointless. I guess the other thing was, when you're... I don't know. Did you like the montage with, Hajime? I don't know. I guess it's, something they have to do because, they don't have time to talk about, him going through, 50 levels or whatever.
You can see they did dedicate more time to the one fight that was extended in this episode.
Yeah, I think it was better than the one we got in the first episode with the bear, but it still wasn't great. Yeah. I don't know. Would have liked to see a little bit more. There's still the same complaints we have in this episode that we did in the first episode in terms of the mana's still... It's weird because the mana is crimson at times, when he's using transmute and stuff like that, but still when he uses Donner, it's still purple, so I don't know why that's different. But some of the sound effects again,
there was a couple late sound effects.
I will say too, it's probably a good thing, but it is a little weird how the quality changes in terms of the animation. Again, I don't really care too much about this, but I think it is something that's a little odd, or it's just a little bit jarring when you see it, and that is when you see Hajime and you in the dungeon, it's a quality a notch up than when you go back to the heroes. I don't know what it is exactly, but you could just tell it's got a little bit different. Maybe it's just the style is a little bit different. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But what did you think of I don't know. There's still a lot of little things that I think they just kind of breeze over for the sake of it, which I guess doesn't matter too much. Again, they put when you see Hajime whatever level he's supposed to be in, I think they say 40th or something like that. It says bottom of the abyss, where it's that's not even close to being the bottom.
Yeah, it's weird. Maybe just the translation was weird.
Yeah, it could be, and I don't know. Maybe it is a translation thing, but I honestly feel the dialogue is just really bad at times. For instance, I do think the show improved a little bit in this episode with seeing Hajime and him with you towards the end of the episode, but some of the dialogue is still a little off. When he's meeting with you and she just automatically knows his name and he didn't say it, or it kind of gives the impression of she didn't forget who she was, because that's a big part of the book too, where she she's been there for so long she doesn't remember some parts of her life before, and they didn't really convey that.
There's also there was not an issue, but kind of I don't know why that line's in there, because for people who read the book, it doesn't add anything. For people who haven't, it's oh, that's random, because he's looking at these ancient things and he's oh, I didn't read anything about this. And I was but you haven't shown him read. You haven't shown him do anything.
You got that 2-second scene in the first one where he's in the library, but it was just him talking over that, so you don't really know what he was really learning there.
You don't.
So, yeah, I don't know. I guess I think it's really hard because again, you don't see it in a way that I think it's good storytelling or a good adaptation so far, so it's a little hard for me to just critique the voice actor alone, but I think I liked it a little bit more in this episode, at least the guy. It seemed I don't know, maybe again it falls a little flat when some of the dialogue doesn't make sense or whatever, but it was fine. like his performance-wise. We got to see you for the first time, which I did like for the most part, her in this. The things are just really weird, like I don't remember it being like a cube that spins in the air. I thought it was just like on the ground. I don't know. Like, it's random. But
yeah, I don't know. There's hope if they focus on Hajime more. I mean, at least they feel like they got the core of his character, and I don't know. I mean, I was annoyed by the classroom scenes, but that's kind of how it was in the book too. I was so I don't know.
It's kind of like one of those things where in the book you don't necessarily like those characters, I think, and you're not supposed to at the beginning. But seeing those scenes is like important because it lays the groundwork for what to come, and it makes the story ultimately better because they're putting all those lines in there for them. But in this, it's like they tried to just do like half of that formula. They just tried to like show you more, but it's like, well, you didn't establish them in the first episode, and you didn't even do that again in this episode. It's like, why do I have incentive for that?
Yeah.
Or like, why will the audience member care?
But the good news is we get to see Glasses Chick, who will be important later. I always see her.
Yeah. I don't know, like, that one scene, I could just be blanking, but you made the comment too where Saizuku sees, what's the guy's name? Hayama, I think. They don't say it in the show, I don't think, so it's like hard for me to remember sometimes. But I think that was actually in the book, maybe, but it was just a weird thing to highlight, really. If anything, I was kind of surprised they haven't done like more of like the other classmates, because I guess you did get a little bit, and it was kind of weird because there was a moment of the episode where they're like talking to Ishtar, like the Pope, and it's like, oh, are they gonna like go back and like explain? And it's like still kind of like a half-assed thing. You don't really get any info besides just like,
we gotta save the humans.
Yeah,
they're on the brink of destruction.
Which I guess, if you really want to tear it down to bare bones, like I guess that's all you would need to know. But it's still like, I don't know. It still doesn't feel quite right, with all of it being like that. But there's not much substance to this. I think you were pretty on the nose with the first episode saying that they just seem like they want to make this like an action show that people are like, oh, cool. It's kind of like a mindless show that you just like have fun with more than like, really sit back and be like, whoa, that's like a really cool take on the genre and stuff like that. But I guess that's just the impression I got here. Because it's like, there's not really much to talk about in terms of what happened in the episode. Because there's just...
Yep, they still totally gloss over all the abilities he's gotten like it's not important when it should probably be important.
Yeah.
It's like, I was like, here's the scrolling list. Okay, thank you.
Also, it was really weird with, maybe again it was just like the translation, but like he had a line where he was talking about like moving with transmute. Like he's like, oh, I could move vertically, but now I can try to move horizontally with transmute. I was like, what are you talking about? I like, for some reason, maybe I was just like having a brain lapse and didn't understand anything at that little point, but I was confused.
It made it
there.
seem like that line wasn't there. It made it seem as like, oh, he's just gonna like traverse the floors by transmuting, which I don't think in the book he didn't do. He just like took the stairs down like everyone else.
Yeah,
but whatever.
I don't know. Well, maybe I don't know. It's been a while, so maybe I'm just a little bit fuzzy on that. I think he did use transmutation pretty extensively because it's like his core ability and that's his strongest one at this point, but it's still a little odd. Like, I mean, even if I'm forgetting in the book, they didn't explain it like the way they said it. It's like you wouldn't really get that probably if you didn't know he could do that.
Yeah, there's just like a couple, like 2 or 3 lines that I was trying to like explain like whole things that are major parts in the book. I wouldn't say major, but at least important parts in some ways, and they just had like one line talking about it. So,
right.
Okay.
Also, I don't know, for some reason that scene with him and you, that, like, it was fine, but it was obviously, like, shortened quite a bit because I remember that he, like, somehow was able to open it, but there was another creature that came down, I thought, that they were fighting together, and that's how he kind of
like
understood.
A or something.
Yeah, like, maybe they're going to show that in the next episode, but it just felt really weird how... like after he like opens it up that he was that close with her already. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, like in the book, there was something that, you know, established to him that was like, oh, okay, you know, she was able to like help me save my life, or, you know, I can like count on her, so I can trust her.
Yeah, I think maybe they'll do that in the next episode. I also just feel like Kate Ori was a little off, but I don't remember much about her character at the very beginning. But either way, I feel like her, I don't know, it just feels off. I don't know how to explain it, but it doesn't feel like what the picture I had, or that I got from the books anyway, even in the beginning, so.
Yeah, there's definitely, I don't know, I think it's just I think it feels like that because of how they decided to execute the first episode. But I guess we'll stop it here since we don't have much more to talk about. We'll be back for the third episode. I will say we've been uploading this the day that the episode releases, but if we do move this to another day, you know, just it'll be the same week, but just in case we do, because since the season isn't like really wowing us right now, you know, we're not really sure if we'll, you know, push it to have it the same day. So I guess we'll just wait and see. But so if you don't see it Monday, we didn't drop the show. It's just moved back a little bit.
Yeah, I may move back a little bit.
So, but anyway, guys, that'll conclude this review. And let us know if you thought it was better. It was like slightly better. Yeah, it went from like bad, or like let me rephrase it. The first episode was like horrible. This episode, it's like not bad, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's all I gotta say. You got anything else to say?
More hopeful for the future, I guess. I don't know. I think the next couple episodes will kind of tell everyone if we should continue watching or not. I think we can give kind of not a full review, obviously, but at least a recommendation by the next couple. So
yeah, I will say I think this show, just like the format that they have it going, I think the way that they're structuring it seems like it's going to be an okay show once they have like all the characters established, or like the main characters established. Like, you know, when they're just going through like the third, fourth, fifth labyrinth, it's like, okay, that stuff can be shortened a little bit. I don't want it to, but it could be, and it could still be fine. But in this initial like setting up characters, it's like, oof, that's like not going to work out well for the structure. But anyway, we'll shut up and let us know what you thought, and we'll talk to you
next week for sure.
Next week.
Later.
Peace, guys.